The baby shower fell silent when his sister stood up and announced, "That baby will ruin my brother's life." My husband sighed and said, "She's just protective." I picked up a folder and handed it to him. "Then you'll want to see what she's been doing behind your back." His sister's face went pale as he read the first page. I never expected my baby shower to turn into a full-blown disaster. It was supposed to be a celebration, good food, laughter, and people who loved us coming together before my husband, Eric, and I welcomed our first child. Instead, it became the moment everything fell apart. It wasn't just a rude comment. It wasn't just an overprotective sister making a bad joke. It was something deeper, something dangerous, and it all started when Vanessa stood up and said those words in front of everyone. "That baby is going to ruin my brother's life." I don't know if she expected everyone to nod along. Maybe she thought Eric would agree with her, or that I would cry and storm out. But instead, the room went completely silent. People froze mid-bite, glasses stopped halfway to their lips. My best friend had a look of pure shock, and my mother, who had spent weeks planning this shower, stared at Vanessa like she had grown horns. I turned to Eric, waiting for him to say something. He sighed, rubbed his temples, and mumbled, "She's just protective." Protective? That was not protective. That was insane. But I didn't react, not yet. Because I knew something he didn't. I had been waiting for the right moment, and Vanessa had just handed it to me. I reached into my bag, grabbed a folder, and slid it across the table to my husband. "Then you'll want to see what she's been doing behind your back." That's when Vanessa's face went pale. Vanessa and I were never close, but I tried. I really did. She was obsessed with Eric in a way that didn't feel normal for a sibling. She made weird comments all the time. "You don't know him like I do. He's always been the golden child. I just don't want him to settle." Settle. Like I was a downgrade. Like our baby was an anchor. When I got pregnant, she didn't congratulate me. No smile, no hug, nothing. Instead, she looked annoyed. That should have been a red flag. Then, little things started happening. My prenatal appointments kept getting canceled. I'd call to confirm, and they'd say, "Oh, you canceled last week." But I hadn't. My work emails suddenly had weird messages. Coworkers were getting emails from me saying I was considering quitting. Eric's boss hinted that someone had warned him about Eric's impending financial struggles because of the baby. At first, I thought I was imagining things. Pregnancy brain, stress, whatever. But then I started watching. And what I found made my skin crawl. The first solid proof came from my doctor's office. One of the receptionists let it slip. Oh, it was a woman who called to cancel. She said she was you, but I remember thinking she sounded different. I asked for the call logs. Guess what? The number wasn't mine. It was Vanessa's. I needed more. So, I started digging. I got IT at work to trace the weird emails. They weren't from my account. They were from a dummy account made in my name, and when we traced the IP, Vanessa's apartment. Then came the final blow. Eric's boss finally forwarded the voicemail from the concerned party, who had warned them that Eric was about to be financially drained. And there it was. Her voice. So here we were. At my baby shower. Vanessa had made her speech, Eric had brushed it off, and now he was flipping through pages of evidence. The color drained from his face. His hands shook. Then his entire expression changed. He looked at Vanessa, pure rage in his eyes. "Vanessa, what the actual F asterisk is this?" The whole room was dead silent. She tried to play dumb. I don't know what you mean. I didn't let her finish." "You don't know what I mean? You don't recognize the emails you sent to my doctor, pretending to be me? You don't remember making fake appointments and canceling my real ones? You don't recall calling Eric's job and telling them he was about to have a financial disaster on his hands?" Her mouth opened and closed like a fish. "You've been trying to sabotage my pregnancy. You wanted me to lose this baby." Eric's jaw clenched. He was breathing hard, like he was trying not to lose it in front of everyone. "Tell me this isn't true," he said, voice dangerously low. Vanessa's eyes darted around like she was looking for an escape. She tried to switch tactics. "Eric, I was just helping you. You don't understand what you're getting into. This baby is going to—" He slammed his hand on the table. "Hard. Stop talking." She flinched. Vanessa snapped. "SHE stole you from me." She pointed at me like I was the villain. "She ruined everything. We had plans, Eric. We were supposed to travel, to start a business, I stared at her. "What the hell? Vanessa, what are you talking about?" I asked, my voice shaking. Eric's expression darkened. "You thought we had a life together?" Vanessa started crying, actual, ugly sobbing. "I just wanted you to be happy. You were supposed to be great. Not some boring husband with a kid. She's ruining your life. Don't you see that?" Everyone was watching. No one moved. Eric finally spoke. "You're sick." Vanessa lunged forward, grabbing his arm. Eric, please. I did it for you. You can still leave. We can fix this. He yanked his arm away like he had been burned. You're dead to me. She froze. Leave. She didn't move. Now, her face twisted with rage, but she had nowhere to go. No one defended her. No one told Eric to calm down. She had lost. And then, she ran out the door. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Eric hadn't spoken since Vanessa stormed out. He just sat there, hunched over the stack of evidence, gripping the pages so tight his knuckles were white. My best friend, Sarah, stood by the kitchen island, arms crossed, mouth pressed into a thin line. My mother was picking up the leftover decorations, muttering under her breath about how some people needed therapy. I didn't know what to say. What could I say? Eric had just found out that his own sister had tried to sabotage his job, my pregnancy, and our entire future, and she had done it thinking she was saving him. Finally, he broke the silence. She's not done. I turned to him. What do you mean? He looked up, his face blank but his eyes full of something I couldn't place. Fear? Anger? She's not just going to walk away. And deep down, I knew he was right. It started small. The next morning, I woke up to a text from an unknown number. Enjoy it while it lasts. No name, no context. I stared at it for a full minute before showing Eric. He looked at it, sighed, and tossed his phone onto the couch. She's pissed. That afternoon, my mom called. Did you delete your baby registry? No. Well, it's gone. I pulled it up on my phone. She was right. The whole thing had been wiped. Sarah texted me a few hours later. Did you block me on Instagram? I hadn't. But when I checked, my account was gone. Completely deleted. Eric was pacing now. She's trying to make you disappear. And he was right. By the next morning, things escalated. Eric's boss called. Hey man, I hate to ask this, but did you cheat on your wife? Eric nearly dropped his coffee. What? We got an anonymous email with screenshots of some questionable texts. Just wanted to warn you. Eric demanded to see them. And sure enough, someone had photoshopped a fake conversation between him and some random woman, making it look like he had been sneaking around. It was sloppy work, but it didn't matter. The damage was done. Then, the cops showed up. A wellness check. We got a report that a pregnant woman at this address was being abused. I nearly choked. Eric froze. Excuse me? The officers looked uncomfortable. The caller was very concerned. Said you were trapped. That your husband was controlling and dangerous. I couldn't believe it. Vanessa had called the police on my husband. It took half an hour to convince them that everything was fine. When they left, Eric sat down at the kitchen table and put his head in his hands. She's losing it. And then, the final straw. 2 weeks later, I had a routine checkup. I was in the waiting room, flipping through a magazine, when a nurse walked up. Mrs. Carter? Your husband called. He said he'll be here in 5 minutes. I blinked. My husband. Eric wasn't coming. He was at work. The nurse nodded. Yes, he wanted us to wait before taking you back. Said he wanted to be here for the ultrasound. Chills ran down my spine. I need to make a call. I stepped outside and immediately dialed Eric. Hey, babe, what's up? Did you call the hospital? What? No. Why? I turned and looked through the glass doors. A woman was standing by the front desk, talking to the nurse. Vanessa. She was here. I walked back in, heart pounding. Vanessa. She turned, startled. Then she smiled. Oh! I was just checking in on you. Lies. I glanced at the nurse. What did she tell you? The nurse hesitated. She said she was your emergency contact. I felt like I was going to be sick. Eric's voice was still on the phone in my hand. I put it on speaker. Vanessa, get the hell out of there. Her smile faltered. Eric, you're overreacting. No. I'm done. You tried to cancel her appointments. You tried to get me fired. You called the cops on me. And now you're showing up at her hospital. The nurse was now looking at Vanessa with suspicion. Ma'am, you're not listed as her emergency contact. Vanessa's face turned red. I just wanted to help. The nurse frowned. You need to leave. Vanessa glared at me. You're ruining him. No, I said. You are. She stormed out. The nurse turned to me wide-eyed. Do you want to update your emergency contact? I nodded. Yes. And please, put a note in my file. Do not let her near me again. After Vanessa was kicked out of the hospital, I thought she'd back off. I thought maybe, just maybe, she'd realize she'd lost. But some people? They don't know when to quit. A week later, I woke up to sirens outside our house. I threw the blanket off, my heart racing. Through the window, I saw flashing red and blue lights reflecting off the pavement. Eric was already at the door, opening it before they could knock. Sir, step outside. Two police officers stood there, serious as hell. Eric blinked. What's going on? One officer sighed. We received a report that you've been violating a restraining order. I froze. Restraining order? Eric and I looked at each other. That's not possible, he said. But the officer pulled out a document. A restraining order. Against Eric. Filed by Vanessa. She had claimed Eric was stalking her, threatening her, even standing outside her house at night, watching her windows. She submitted security footage, one officer said. Eric laughed bitterly. That's impossible. I don't go anywhere near her house. But then it hit me. Vanessa had security cameras, which meant she staged it. Eric's hands curled into fists. Where's the footage? The officers hesitated. It's grainy, but she swore it was you. I stepped forward. Did she submit it digitally? Yes. What time was the video taken? The officer checked his notes. 2:47 a.m., last Tuesday. I smiled. We have security cameras too. Want to check? Eric pulled up our own footage from that night. It showed our house. Our bedroom window dark and quiet. At exactly 2:47 a.m., Eric was asleep in bed, with me right next to him. One of the officers exhaled sharply. Well, that's interesting. His partner was already on his radio. Dispatch, we're gonna need to follow up on that report. 5 minutes later, they were gone. And Vanessa? She was about to have a very bad day. The next morning, Eric got a call. From the same officers. Just letting you know, she's been arrested for filing a false police report. I had to sit down. Wait, what? Yeah. Turns out the security footage she provided? It was manipulated. Her own neighbors had Ring cams, and they caught her staging the whole thing. She was outside in a hoodie, pretending to be you. Eric let out a long breath. Jesus. Then the officer added, almost as an afterthought, oh, and one more thing. You might want to check your credit cards. My stomach dropped. Why? Because Vanessa tried to open a loan in your name last week. I ran to my laptop, logged into our bank account, and boom. There it was. An application for a $15,000 personal loan. Filed under Eric's name. Using his social security number. And the bank? They had flagged it as suspicious because the phone number listed was not ours. Eric sat down hard in the chair. She's actually insane. I could feel my pulse in my temples. She had tried to frame him. Tried to get him fired. Tried to turn the police against him. And now? She was trying to ruin us financially. That was it. We were done playing defense. Eric did something I never expected. He called Vanessa's fiancé, Nathan, the poor guy who had been sucked into her nightmare world. Nathan picked up on the second ring. Hey, Eric. Eric didn't waste time. Do you know where Vanessa is right now? Nathan hesitated. No? She said she was out running errands. Eric leaned back. She's in jail. Silence. Then what? Eric calmly explained everything. The fraud. The restraining order scam. The financial mess she tried to create. Nathan listened. Didn't say a word. Then, in the quietest voice, he asked, can you send me proof? Eric sent everything. And a few hours later, Vanessa's entire world started crumbling. By that evening, Nathan had broken off the engagement. Told her parents everything. Filed a restraining order of his own. Vanessa came home to an empty house. Her bags? Packed and waiting on the porch. Her fiancé? Gone. Her family? Done with her. Her credit? Destroyed. And when she tried to text Eric, he blocked her. After weeks of legal battles, Vanessa pleaded guilty to filing a false police report and fraud. She avoided jail time, but she got a criminal record. Thousands in fines. A mandatory psychological evaluation. Last we heard, she moved out of state. No one misses her. Eric kept his job. I gave birth to a healthy baby girl. And we moved to a new house. No more Vanessa. No more drama. Just peace. And we have no regrets. Not a single one. For a while, after Vanessa's arrest and her fiancé leaving her, things were quiet. Too quiet. Eric and I tried to move on, focus on the baby, focus on our lives. But we both knew something. She wasn't done. Then, 3 weeks later, we got the text. Vanessa, meet me at Mom and Dad's house. Now. Eric stared at it. His jaw tightened. She wants a final showdown. I hesitated. Maybe we should ignore her. No, he said. If we don't end this now, she'll never stop. And I knew he was right. So we went. We pulled up to Eric's parents' house. Vanessa was already waiting outside, pacing. Her face was pale, her eyes wild. Inside, the whole family was there. Eric's mom, his dad, his brother, a few aunts and uncles. They all knew what had happened. And nobody was on her side anymore. Vanessa stood in the middle of the living room, arms crossed, lips pressed together. The moment we walked in, she let loose. Are you happy? Eric didn't blink. Define happy. You ruined my life. I laughed, sharp and humorless. Oh, you did that all by yourself. She whirled on me. You took my brother from me. You turned him against me. Eric stepped forward. Vanessa, stop. No, you don't get to tell me to stop. Not after what you did. She grabbed her phone, pulled up a bank account statement, and shoved it in Eric's face. Do you see this? Do you see this? I have nothing. I lost everything because of you. Eric looked at her like she was a stranger. You lost everything because you tried to destroy my family. Her breathing was shaky. I was trying to protect you. Eric's voice cracked. From what, Vanessa? From my wife? From my kid? She flinched. For the first time, I saw something in her face. Something like doubt. Eric shook his head. You can't control me. You never could. And you sure as hell can't control my family. His mother, who had been silent this entire time, finally spoke. Vanessa, why? Just, why? The whole room was staring at her now. She looked trapped. Her eyes darted around, like she was trying to find an excuse. And then, she broke. Because I was supposed to be the one who took care of him. Silence. Dead silence. She looked at Eric, eyes shining with something between fury and desperation. I was supposed to be the one you needed. Not her. I felt ice crawl up my spine. Eric looked like he had been punched in the gut. Vanessa. I was never your responsibility. She shook her head violently. No, you don't understand. I spent my whole life protecting you. Mom and Dad always put everything on me. I was the one who kept you safe. I was the one who made sure nobody hurt you. And then SHE comes along, she pointed at me, tears streaming down her face now. And suddenly I don't matter anymore. I saw it then. This wasn't about me. Not really. Vanessa wasn't just controlling. She was lost. Eric exhaled shakily. I love you, Vanessa. I always will. But you don't own me. She let out a choked sob. I don't know who I am without you. And for the first time, I felt something I never expected to feel for her. Pity. Eric's mom stepped forward, tears in her own eyes. You're our daughter. You're Vanessa. But you need help. And you need to stop hurting people before it's too late. Vanessa looked at all of us. At her parents. At her brother. At the family she had driven away. And for the first time, maybe ever, she looked ashamed. Vanessa didn't apologize that day. She just walked out. But she didn't fight anymore. The police case moved forward. She was sentenced to community service and court-mandated therapy. Nathan, the ex-fiancé, never spoke to her again. She moved to another city, cut off contact with almost everyone. And as far as I know, she's still trying to figure out who she is. Eric and I moved to a new house. A new start. Vanessa is no longer in our lives. And for the first time in a long time, we are free. There's no dramatic ending. No perfect closure. Just peace. And after everything, that's all we ever wanted.